Chippewa hockey is on CCHN.
Oh my goodness!
The place to watch men's Division III.
Here's Connor Morgan out in front for Porzundek. He scores!
And women's Division II.
Burnett's gonna get a shot and goal as she scores!
Every shift, every goal, every game.
Central Michigan has turned the corner.
All in one place. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey. today, which is usually Julian Johnson, his brother, transfer out of Adrian College. There's one from the half wall, skirted wide of the slot area, intended for Andrew Siraki.
And we apologize, folks. We had some technical difficulties. We've got the audio up and running now. We apologize for that.
Yeah, no worries. So if you're just joining us, 2-0 Grand Valley State leads. Live from Martin Ice Arena, Devon, Sarah, Reagan, Cleves. The final game of this first semester for both of these teams. Game number 17 on the air for CMU. And the opening goals scored by GVSU's Braden Nielsen on a good deflection in front from a shot at the point by Carson Becks, followed up 2 minutes later by Jacob Lewis, just beating Woolery cleanly at the right circle. Makes this a 2-0 game. CMU looking for any kind of forward momentum as they are down to the number 1 team in the country, 13-0 coming into this hockey game. As we're going to get a whistle, a stoppage of play while changes were going on for a hand pass.
Yeah, GVSU didn't see who it was. I think it was Lewis who batted that puck down in his own end, and it ended up going on to a stick of a teammate, and that is a illegal hand pass. So with 5:19 gone in the opening period, yes, so Grand Valley up, as you said, Devin, 2-0 early. Nielsen and Lewis getting those 2 goals. Nielsen had the first goal in last night's contest, and Lewis also had a tally.
Yeah, and here come the Lakers, wasting no time on their breakout after that face-off win. Gorno from the slot. That one might have gone off a piece of Woolery. Delected in front, nobody home in particular. Skated to the near side where they retrieved it. Got it back to this dangerous area. Here's Jack Myers making his return. Missed last night. The senior captain skirts to the net, and on the far side, it's saved by Woolery easily.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity there for Myers. Got the initial shot on it, was blocked. Couldn't get to the loose puck on the second chance.
Myers with his brother, Steve, out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. One of the leading scorers on this team. Center field, backhanded by Beamish. He was looking for his second in as many games.
That's a great play by Brennan Schultz, working down the right wing, finds his old Division II teammate out in front. Beamish can't finish it as he snaps it wide. And,
talking about audio difficulties, we apologize for that, but you may notice that we're at our old vantage point, and the only microphones you can hear are our microphones from the voices of me and Reagan. So some limited equipment this week. Finals are going on. Unforeseen circumstances led to that, but we hope you enjoy the game nonetheless. 13:25 to go. First period, CMU down 2-0. That pass off the blade of Jake Bishop allows CMU time to gain the red line and change. GVSU still clutching themselves. They have garnered 5 shots I've counted in this period. CMU's 1. Up the left wing quickly comes the starting defenseman. Josh Phillips takes a shot out of the net, and Woolery stopped it. It fluttered over the middle of the cage.
Yeah, that came through a screen made by Brendan Clements accidentally on his own netminder. It handcuffs Caleb Woolery. He has to reach over top of his head, and he gets only a piece of it. And lucky for him, he did get that piece of it. 12:56 to go in period 1.
And continue the discussion you and I were having earlier. Woolery making back-to-back starts tonight. He also started game number 2 at Florida Gulf Coast, or game number 1, excuse me. So that's 3 out of the 4 last games Woolery started, and his goals against average has certainly hurt, as CMU has now been outscored 24-3 in the last 10.5 periods of play. And not what you want to see.
And he's played actually in 4 straight contests, Devin. He got that win on the road at Arrington Ice Arena against Adrian. Since then, he's 0-2.
Yeah, you're right. He did not start in game 2, but he had to play and come in relief. They score! A quick shot from the right circle. I think that was Jacob Lewis again, and they're going to rough up a Chippewa on the corner. Skating away, that's Kyle Robertson. But it's 3-0, and Jacob Lewis has his second of the game.
Yeah, and that's a shot that Caleb Woolery wants back. It's a clean shot by Lewis, but it's right on the blocker where Woolery should have it, and he puts it right by him, and Central Michigan is going to take a timeout here. 12:26 to go in period 1.
We also will step aside for a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're watching and listening to CMU and GVSU. CMU down early in this one, though, 3-0 as we head to timeout. We're back with you inside Martin Ice Arena. Grand Valley State has jumped out to an early 3-0 lead here in the first 7.5 minutes. Devin Sarah Reagan Cleaves and Jacob Lewis has 2 goals in this hockey game, both from the right circle, beating Caleb Woolery, who is still in net. Reagan, a tough start where GV now on 6 shots has scored on 3 of them.
Yeah, it's a couple of tough chances for the Central Michigan netminder. He's had a couple of shots that he may want back, but he's been given a chance to redeem himself here.
So Fouché and Lewis actually both assisted on back-to-back goals. So unfortunate for CMU down early in this game, but they got to find a way to recoup. As Grand Valley goes right back to work deep to the zone. Button hook corralled by Nathan Bottles, trying to cover the left post of the net. He'll rim it around the boards, met up there by sophomore Morgan. He'll lead it to Bottles. He'll gain the red line, dump it in, go off for a change, and will come on with Jay Nadeau. They'll skate deep to the zone. Grand Valley State mishandles the puck for a moment. Nadeau stepped on a dime, got checked to the boards, and Jace Johnson could not retrieve it. Off the bench comes Messina, the assistant captain, gives it to Bowerson. He'll go on the dump and chase again. CMU with some quick changes here early out of that timeout.
Yeah, indeed, and they've been able to pin the puck in the Grand Valley end a little bit here, but now Chevalier moves it out.
That's Justin Chevalier under duress for Kielb. He'll turn it over for Jansen, and Woolery had to be sharp. Right pad save.
That actually
kicked it to the boards.
That actually took a deflection off of Braden Kielb's skate out in front.
Oh,
he was able to deflect that. He was able to deflect that away from the face of goal before it got to Woolery.
Nadeau intercepts this puck, dumps it in deep. It's held by Ryan Price, making his 4th start of the year out of Livonia, Michigan. In relief of Bobby Masters, who saved 31 on 32 shots. The Chippewas only the 2nd team this year to give Grand Valley State out of their 13 games 30-plus shots. They finished with 32. The only goal scorer in that one was Connor Beamish, who had a chance for one earlier. Here's Owen Campbell with an easy save for Price out of the slot area.
Yeah, and those 34 shots were powered by, 32 shots were powered by a 22-shot second period for Central Michigan. They've always, as long as you and I have been here, Devin, have had trouble starting games and playing a full 20 minutes in that opening period when they've played tough teams like Grand Valley State, but they're able last night to regain their momentum and regain their footing in period 2.
In the dirty area, Connor Beamish took a shot. It was seen by Price and kicked out to the neutral zone. Reversing field, Clements easily intercepted. Here comes Mulder over the line. Drop pass, one-timer, and that one skirted wide of the right post from Scamera. Bell will take another one on net. Seen by Gilgren, flipped into the air. Working down low with it for is Scamera. He'll tie up with a good defending Kyle Robertson there. He's played so well amid all of CMU's struggles. Up to the point now with room to shoot. They'll take one on the net, loose in front, and it's skirted wide to the far post.
Good job there by Robertson to clear the front of the goal.
Looking for room to set up the forecheck. Gornall's pushed to the boards. He'll cycle it down low where Mulder's press. Now in front. Woolery had to be sharp, and the net looks like it is off its moorings.
And that's a good play on in front. Matco trying to get a shot on goal from the middle of the slot if the puck squeaked free, but he was only able to get a backhand on it, and the Chippewa defense was able to deflect it wide.
9:46 to go, first period. GVSU will make wholesale changes. The squad head coached by Dylan Knox. Assistant coach is Skylar Emmelander. Ron Clark. The director of ops is Matthew Sakozin. This team has always been in the mix. The last time they were in contention, they're the 2022 MCHC champions, so 2 years ago. And last year they bowed out to number 4 Michigan Wolverines. Sharp angle shot. Net is off. They're going to remain play for now. Now they won't.
Net comes off its moorings again. And good for CMU that they're able to get that stoppage of play. But again, they won't be able to change, as it looked like GVSU had some momentum rolling.
Finish my point, though. GVSU made it to the semifinal ACHA Nationals last year. They bowed out to the eventual national champions Michigan 2-1, and they lost to the Wolverines also lost to them in the MCHC semifinal this past year. So they've always been in the mix. There's a shot from the point that's saved by Woolery. Kicked wide to the
and more to your point, Devin, that of the last 4 national tournaments, they have made it to the semifinals 3 separate times.
Yeah, this group is well coached, well manned, and they have a lot of veterans that were not happy with the way they finished the end of last year. And we talked about the goaltenders and Bobby Masters and Ryan Price splitting some time. It was Dominic Stankiewicz, the longtime goaltender, our friend here at CCHN as well. And he was very good for a long time, but they seem to pick off where they left off even without him.
And certainly the offense has returned as well for Grand Valley. They've had now 5 games.
Vasilovich kind of gets away with the trip. However, here come the Lakers. Nifty move. They score! Braden Nielsen, his second, dangles his way into the slot and beats Woolery cleanly. 4-0. Grand Valley continues their stranglehold.
Yeah, Nielsen, his 3rd goal of the weekend, as Sam Zavelson's now going to come in for Caleb Woolery. It's a tough start for Central Michigan. Caleb Woolery's going to want a couple of those back, but a great play by Nielsen to work his way past the defense, absorbs the check, and is able to get a shot off.
And throwing his stick in frustration is the young goalie in Woolery. So coming in will be the veteran, Sam Zavelson, the senior of Merrick, New York, a 3.03 goals against average, .901 save percentage. We saw him most recently start in that Florida Gulf Coast game number 2, which they lost 10-1. So Zavelson comes in with 8:15 left to go in the first period, looking for something to keep this team in this one as that's flooded into the netting behind the inboards.
As Zavelson making his 11th appearance this season, 3 wins, 5 losses, 1 tie to his name, 337 goals against average, and an .891 save percentage.
Thank you for updating his stats. I was going to pump him a little bit better than that, but you're right. That is the accurate number. 8-11, face-off to the left circle. Nathan Bottles will dig in for it. They lose the draw. Carson Becks, well defended as Morgan pushed him out of the blue line. Across the way, Jace Johnson looks for room to take it over. Another try from the point. That's the first save by Zavelson of this hockey game for him. Morgan reverses field. He'll dump and chase it in against Becks, who has an assist in this game on the first goal by Braden Nielsen. You mentioned, Reagan, 3 goals in this weekend series now. Here's Nathan Bottles. Dumps it in over the blue line. And after it goes Jace Johnson. Not before it's corralled. First time by Matko. For reversing field. Evading pressure. He'll work it up the far wall. Coming in to break that up is Morgan. Petersmark gains the line. Takes a check by Kielb. Goes down to the ice.
Kielb was lucky he didn't get a... kneeing penalty there.
Bottles looks to be a little shaken up in front of his bench. He'll skate off now. And CMU will make some more changes as they continue to dump this puck in. And, I mean, look, Reagan, they're just trying to find any kind of forecheck, anything to take this puck away.
And this Grand Valley team is so good. They're suffocating Central Michigan's forecheck, suffocating their puck possession. CMU can't get anything done with this puck.
Trying to crowd their own end. The deep pairings will go D to D. Puck floated in the air, and Adu trying to take it away. Here's Justin Chevalier across the way. Backdrop pass, shot saved off the blocker of Zavelson. Now Johnson cannot keep the blue line, so he has to go back to retrieve.
Yeah, that's a great save by Zavelson, coming out on top of his crease and being able to get a blocker on it. Makes up for a 3-on-1 where CMU got caught at their offensive blue line.
Chevalier will backhand this to Phillips. Slow things down. He'll chip it up the near glass. Chevalier evades pressure. Sails it over the neutral zone. Off the stick of Petersmark. Deep into the zone, and it's going to be an...
Icing.
I thought Petersmark touched that after the red line, but...
And it was close. And it even looked like Steve Myers had won the race to the puck ahead of Robertson, but Chippewas catch a break. Icing called against Grand Valley.
Into the GV zone. Josh Gilgren will dig in, the third line for CMU. A little bit of a different look. Gilgren up there with Connor Beamish and Brendan Schultz. That is all along, well, I shouldn't say all. Gilgren is a transfer from Purdue Northwest. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Move by Myers, and he backhanded that. Somehow got to his forecheck. He gets it back now, and Zavelson's just going to scoop this one, and we got a flop in front, and we got more. Here they go. Down to the ice goes Bowerson. A lot of commotion as Myers came back in front of the net. Looked like he got tripped for a moment, and there was a shove or two happening there. Frustration boiling over.
Yeah, frustration's boiling out in front. Myers got taken down, and that started the brouhaha. Bowerson involved along with Christopher Martin and a couple of Lakers.
And I wonder why that would have started. I don't think Zavelson took any type of slash or hit there.
No, I think it was just physicality getting a little bit out of hand in front.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Fans, don't forget that the CMU Club Hockey Network YouTube channel is your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, and full game broadcasts for CMU D3 and women's D2 hockey. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so as never to miss a moment of Chippewa hockey. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
Bit of an extended delay. I think we're going to get a penalty here for a cross-check on sitting in the box right now, Brendan Schultz. There is also a GV player in the box. It is Justin Chevalier, so these look like they'll be coincidentals. Right now it says penalty on Chevalier, and so they will put 2 minutes for each team on the board. Make this an extended 4-on-4.
And the faceoff's going to be outside the Central Michigan blue line.
First penalties of this game, as it's all been all GV lighting up the lamp. Braden Nielsen and Jacob Lewis making up 2 goals each.
Yeah, and a little bit different of a scene than we saw last night. Lots of penalties in that game. Both teams combined for 12 power plays.
Yeah, CMU went 1 for 8 on the night. GV was 2 for 4, Reagan. And they did keep the penalties down, so a little bit of open ice to work with. Here come the Lakers again. Over the line quickly is Myers. Jack Myers moving in. Near post chance. Easily evaded by Zavelson. Now he'll cycle it deep with Mulder. Check to the boards by 2 Chippewas. He'll rim it around the other side on the weak side. It's Phillips taking out the point. He'll rim a shot on net, and that's gloved away and settled down by Zavelson.
And I really like the physicality from Bowerson. After getting involved in that scuffle, he continues that physicality here on the 4-on-4, rubbing out Phillips down low, keeping him out of the play. And it's good to see the junior getting involved.
Yeah, and a little bit more fans have packed themselves into Martin Ice Arena. A good crowd on hand to watch the #1 team in the nation take on these Chippewas. Shot from the point, off the boards, and now into the left pad where Sam finds it.
And that's a scary opportunity there for the Lakers. They put it over wide of goal, and it almost caroms off the end boards, off of Zavelson and into the net, but the senior out of Merrick, New York, is able to plop his glove on it.
Jansen, the one who shot it, gets it back to dump it. Messina's worked over, past the slot, taken away, broken up by Bottles. He'll rim it up to Kielb, who will gain the left point. He'll try and center this on net. Rebound in front, it's loose. A shot by Bottles off the skate blade and off the other way. Taking the skate out of the hands of Kielb was Jansen. He's going to get crunched and paid the price for that. Kielb frustrated. Is that not a penalty, Reagan, for taking a man's stick?
It probably should have been a hooking call on Braden Kielb, but it wasn't even his opponent's stick that he took. His own stick got ripped out of his own hands.
Clements nearly tripped over that. Referee now will skirt it out the way and back to the bench. Look out, worked over. It's Connor Morgan. Quickly the other way, Phillips stops on a dime. He'll get worked over by Campbell. Good job pressuring him, but he's all alone over the red line. He'll just dump and chase it in, give his time to change. 10 seconds before we're back to 5-on-5 with 3:55 to go in the first period. Grand Valley with a stranglehold on this game, 4-0. Worked over by Campbell, and he gets checked to the ice. That was Peter's mark. The other way up right wing. There's Mulder, skates, dangles for Myers, into the slot. Checked down by Clements. He'll back this one up to the point. Delayed penalty coming up on CMU, and it's touched up by Clements.
I think it might be we'll see what it is. It's going to be a roughing call on Andrew Siraki.
So there you have it. Just when we finished up the 4-on-4, this will now be the first penalty of this game for roughing on Andrew Siraki. Tough way to finish this period.
And now Jay Nadeau's going to step into the penalty box. Wonder what for.
I wonder if there was a little bit more after the whistle that we didn't hear or see. Is he going to make that 5-on-3 then? It's not on the score sheet yet, but right now there are a count 4 Chippewas on the ice. So 5-on-4. Nadeau will sit. Must be some sort of misconduct that does not affect the play.
That would be my guess. Either him or Siraki, because he could be serving the minor for Siraki in an event. But either someone said something that was across the line for the official.
The Myers brothers go to work. The junior, Jack, gives it to his brother, Steve. They'll work along with the near boards. Myers from a sharp angle over the left post. Taken by Chevalier. Evades traffic. He'll cycle it down low for the captain, Myers. Over to Steve. They'll play tag with it in the trapezoid. Jack looking for his options. Back to Steve. Looked in front. Broken up by Clements and cleared the length by Bishop to give his time to change. 1:08 left in the first power play of the night for Grand Valley.
Good first half of this penalty kill for Central Michigan. Able to...
Chevalier back to the attack. Drop pass to nobody. Morgan first to it. Gives it back for Schultz. Trying to clear the way. They can't. Dundas to the net. Blocker saved. It's still loose the left side. Taken by Jack Myers. Works it to Jansen with a shot. Redirected wide. Off the glass it worked to Chevalier. Puts it down low for Myers. Stick check by Robertson in front. Not allowing them to get in the box. Now they will. Sharp angle. Fakes the traffic and they score. Nifty move by Steve Myers to get it across the Dundas. And he shot at a wide open back door. 5-0 power play goal.
Yeah, it's a power play goal for GVSU. Again, a good cycle. We saw the backdoor feeds kill Central Michigan last night. This time, Zavelson gets drawn off the post, and it's an easy backdoor feed for Myers to feed it to Dundas, who buries it in the back door.
The junior, out of Plymouth, Michigan, had a goal last night in the 6-1 win. Reagan, he was riding a 9-game point streak, make that 10 over the last 10. For number 24, 9 goals on the year. Surpassed his number of 7 from last year. He's on pace to have a 40-plus point season. 6'3", 190, so big, so fast. But that was a great pass by first Braden Nielsen, who's now got 2 goals and an assist to go to his name. So 3-point night, and we're not even done with the first period. So that power play goal yet to be taken off the board, but it will in a moment. We're back to 5-on-5. That shot easily seen by Ryan Price. And Reagan, it's a 5-0 game. What do you make of it?
I think it's simply been GVSU flexing their muscles as the number 1 team in the nation. They're almost playing with Central Michigan how good they're cycling the puck and how efficiently they're making mincemeat of the Chippewas defense.
Yeah, and what I've noticed too is CMU, every time they touch the puck, Reagan, it's been a continuation of turnovers, or when they get it, they're so quick to just dump it the length of the ice and get on the dump and change. Here's some time, however. Let's see if they move it. Chris Armentrout gives it to Owen Campbell. He'll rip one wide. I think that caught the hip of Carson Becks.
Yeah, and Campbell had a little bit of daylight. His Price was a little bit off his angle. He can't put it in there, though.
Campbell tried to work it to Armentrout at the bottom of the left circle. Went up a skate, turned wide of the half wall. Checked to the boards twice is Braden Keel. Asaraki will dump it deep, gives his team time to change. 1 minute exactly left to go in the first period. CMU down big, looking muster anything to try and give something to this Grand Valley team that's had their way of things. Most recently, power play goal by Chris Dundas. Jake Bishop will backhand this one into the zone. Andrew Porzonik in to chase after it. He'll meet up with Jansen. Touched up by Vasilevich. Gives it to Bishop, looking for room to work. Gives it to Bowerson at the point. He'll take a shot on net, and that's easily gloved by Price and Reagan. They really haven't made life very tough for this netminer who's had some experience. He had the 5-2 win against Oakland, number 10 in the nation earlier this year. He's looked good, but not without hard shots.
Yeah, the freshman out of Livonia Churchill spent 3 seasons with the Livonia Churchill Chargers, putting up a .925 save percentage over 48 games. He's played really well in the chances he's gotten for this Lakers squad.
Shot by Porzonik was blocked by Petersmark. It swivels to the corner. Vasilevich is pressed up against the boards. Trying to dig it out is Porzonik. He loses it. Here come the Lakers the other way. Noah Fouché evades Bowerson, not before losing the puck. 5 seconds left. One more shot. Porzonik to the net. Backhanded from a sharp angle, and he turned it wide. One more try by Bishop, and clock will run out. The Lakers from the west side came to play in the mid-state as we get some more commotion after the whistle, but it's not going to be without the point. So Grand Valley up big, 5-0 is the score. Goals in that period from Jacob Lewis, Braden Nielsen, and Chris Dundas as we head to the break. Reagan Cleaves, will you have the intermission report, or was it me?
I'll take it.
All right, he'll take the first intermission report. We'll be right back with more St. Louis hockey here on CCHN.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Reagan Cleaves here for the first intermission report. Happy to have you along. Central Michigan trailing 5-0 to the Grand Valley State Lakers after 20 minutes. It didn't start very well for CMU. 58 seconds into the period, it was Nielsen, his second of the weekend. He would later tack on another one for his third of the weekend series. It's been all GVSU in this one, and They've shown why they're the number one team in the nation. The cycles have been immaculate. The passes have been crisp and clean. And they've really beaten Central Michigan to every single one of the loose pucks that they've had the opportunity to beat them to. And it's shown with Grand Valley State getting many, many goals in that period. And part of it is just due to Central Michigan being outplayed in this one. Nielsen and Lewis both getting 2 goals in that period. The most recent goal for Grand Valley was Chris Dundas, his first of the campaign, finishing home a nifty feed from Myers in the left wing circle. He feeds it right across, and Dundas hammers it home for the third power play goal of the weekend for Grand Valley. The Central Michigan penalty kill continues to struggle here. They are now 2 for 5 on the weekend. Grand Valley converting on 3 of their 5 attempts. So kudos to Central Michigan for staying out of the penalty box through the first 4 periods of this game. This is something they've had trouble with throughout the season, but it bites them here in this one, playing the number one team in the nation this weekend. All of it coming down to power play goals. They have 3 on the weekend, and right now, off of one of those power play goals, leads Central Michigan 5-0 at the end of one. Caleb Woolery got chased after 11 minutes and 29 seconds. 4 goals against before Sam Zavelson came in. He allowed the power play goal. Nothing much he can do on that one. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboards in the MCHC. A couple of games yet to get underway. Oakland is at Michigan Flint tonight. Oakland won by 1 goal yesterday, so a tight series, a little bit unexpected from that Michigan Flint team. Michigan is also on the road at Ferris State. They won by 2 goals in their game last night, 6-4. So some top teams in the MCHC facing some tough competition here this weekend. Taking a look at the Chippewa hockey out-of-town scoreboard, Sioux College knocking off the M2 Chippewas by a 19-1 score, topping their 18-1 score about a month ago on the road at Sioux College. So they will wrap up their weekend series tomorrow. 19-1 the final. John Gervasi will have the call for you bright and early tomorrow at 11 for the conclusion of that weekend series. Women's 2 inactive. They will start their second semester on the road at Aurora the 19th and the 20th of January. Some other Chippewas scores in the athletic department. Men's basketball getting outscored 109-64 at the hands of Creighton. Not a good day for the Chippewas basketball team in that. But the women only lost by 3 to Oakland, 79-76. So it's a tough weekend for CMU athletics, including here in this one where the Chippewas trail 5-0 after the conclusion of one period. It looks like for the second straight night, we have had Zamboni troubles after the first intermission, so we'll step aside. Not sure how long it's going to be. Zamboni hasn't even started to cut, so we'll be back when we're ready to start the second period here on CCHN.
everybody. Back with you inside Martin Ice Arena. Fans, we'd like to give you an update on current situation going on at the rink. There is a extended delay on the icing surface as the Zamboni presumably left a residue inside the far crease area. Our camera is stationary, but to our right there is a large puddle inside the crease area. The Zamboni is back on the ice and trying to fill this hole that was left. We don't know the exact reason, but we know the ice surface is in pretty rough shape on the far side. There are players skating to kind of see what the condition is and if it is still a playable surface, as the Zamboni is making laps, but there is a long extended delay and it will continue for the next 10 minutes. We will provide you updates at every 5-minute mark or so. The clock will run out on the time, but we will give you updates as we are informed of them and let you know. Currently it is a 5-0 lead for Grand Valley State at the first intermission with extended break time because of the Zamboni leaving residue on the ice and looking to fix it now. So we'll give you updates as we get them, but for now, stay with us. You're listening to CMU and Grand Valley State here on CCHN. Back with you again from Martin Ice Arena for another update in the intermission. The Zamboni was able to refill with water after initially the Zam ran out of water on the ice. It was stuck on the ice for an extended period of time and left a puddle on the far end of our broadcast stand, and where your camera sits to the right of center ice. And so they filled it with water, ran a couple more laps over it, and the ice is in less than preferable shape, to say the least, folks. But there is still a delay going on as they are assessing the ice surface. Both teams are getting themselves out of the locker rooms currently and getting ready for second period to resume. But this is going to make things a lot more interesting as the ice is about 3/4 shaved with a large white streak down the middle. So it looks like we're going to play on, but not without extended delay. So looks like we're going to be back with you momentarily to resume this hockey game. It is currently 5-0 Grand Valley State at the end of the first period. So we'll take one more break, and we'll come back with you in a short moment as we resume play from Martin Ice Arena between CMU and GVSU. We are back live from Martin Ice Arena for second period action between CMU and number 1 GVSU. But one of the more odd scenarios, I don't think I've seen anything like this in my time broadcasting with this team, at least not in a long time, because currently there was 2 tracks taken by the Zamboni around the ice, and you may notice a giant white streak in the ice surface down the middle. We had a Zamboni run out of water, Reagan, from what we understand, and it left streak marks in the right puddle where Sam Zavelson is sitting.
Yeah, the ice quality for the second period is going to be rough. They barely even did a dry scrape. I don't think they had the blade down far enough to cut any of the top of the ice off. It's going to be some rough ice quality here in the second period. We'll see how the ice holds up as we go on. Central Michigan on the penalty kill, Devin, to start this period.
Yeah, because Luke Vasilovich was roughing up a player at the end of the period. The officials called him off the ice, and so he will sit for 2 minutes. GVSU to their second power play of the night. They were 1 for 1, and the most recent goal was a power play from Chris Dundas with about 4 minutes left. But we play on. Here come the GVSU players down the ice. Steve Myers ranging off the right iron to start things, and we are wasting no time getting back to play. And Reagan, to continue your point, I mean, what does as a player, how do you adjust to this kind of rough conditions we're going to play in?
I mean, you're going to have to be a little bit more conservative with the puck. You're not going to be able to control it as well. It's going to be skittering around the ice and hopping over your blade at any moment. So you're going to have to be a little bit more conscious with how you control the puck and how you play it.
An odd scenario, but this is the ACHA after all, and you have to find a way to make it work. So they will. And here's GVSU right back to work on the power play. Exactly 1 minute left in that. They'll work it up the far wall. It's picked at the point. First time shot. Now redirected. That was Gorno laying it on the wood for Dundas, who flipped it wide of the right post. Chevalier at the point. Cycles it down low again to Dundas. He'll work across from right to left. Stopping on a dime. Working with it. Up the far wall. Defended well by Brendan Clements. Now the button hook. Wraparound try. Skid it out of the air into the slot. And first touch by Connor Beamish. He'll gain the red line and dump it for a change.
Yeah, good defensive work there by Central Michigan. Brendan Clements able to clear that puck out away from the face of goal and let Connor Beamish take that puck out for CMU.
I'll kill off some more time. It'll be one last rush for GV. Long stretch pass, seen easily by Robertson, and he's going to send it on net for Price.
I like the idea. I like the idea there from Robertson. Dump it in with this bouncy and uneven ice. See what happens. You might get a lucky bounce.
Why not, right? So that ends the penalty. They're 1 for 2 on the night. Vasilovic out of the box. Bottles now collects it. Vasilovic drop pass back for Porzonik, and a miscommunication as Vasilovic was tied up with his man in front, Sam Gorno, and he never saw the puck coming to him. Bottles now looks to center it for Vasilovic. Shot on net from Porzonik at a sharp angle, and the second try doesn't go. The net skated off. It's moorings.
So the net's off its moorings, but some great work there by Central Michigan to be able to work that puck free. Vasilovic down on the right wing side. If he instead of feeding it out to Bottles, he's got Andrew Porzonik in the high slot. If he's able to get it to him, Porzonik's got more time, more space, and more importantly, he is undefended. There was no Laker within 5-10 feet of Andrew Porzonik. If he's able to get a shot off and get possession of that puck, he might have a really good shot.
Possession gain! Score! Campbell centering feed. Gets to Siraki, and they get home. Central answers.
Yeah, a good feed out in front by the Chippewas. Andrew Siraki was right on the back door. Think it's him who taps it home, but CMU on the board here. Even strength goal at 2:27.
And that was a great face-off win initially by Campbell. Picked it up himself, skated to the end boards, and found this one streaking in front with nobody to touch up Siraki. And for a team that struggled to score, he's only the 4th Chippewa in the last 4 to get a goal. They've had one in each of the last 3 games, outscored 25-4 by their opposition. But that's some life. And Siraki touches it.
And of those last 4 games, Owen Campbell has had points on 2 of them.
That's Siraki's first goal and first point of the season. And Owen Campbell, the junior out of Jackson Lumen Christi, gets himself his 4th of the year. There's a shot from a point-blank range by Armentrout as it was skittering across. Look at this forecheck by CMU, Reagan.
It's almost like that long intermission gave them a little bit of rest, and they've come out with guns blazing.
Yeah, and it halted all that momentum GVSU came in with. You score 5 goals, you're going to have nothing but the favorable feeling, momentum. You know, what other words can you describe it?
I mean, I think GVSU came, they had all the momentum. They had all the things going right for them in that first period. The bounces were going their way. The shots were going their way. The ice was tilted down toward the Central Michigan end. But CMU was able to come out with a little bit of rest and get the first goal of the second.
Up the rush, Steve Myers joined with his brother Jack. He'll try to center this one off a skate blade. Messina finds it. He'll flutter this to a wide open lane. Keel will corral. Evades pressure. He'll try and carry with it laterally. Dumps it up the wing. Carried forth for Beamish. Dumps it in deep. In the chase after is Schultz. Collected. Turning heel is Mulder. Rather, Hamilton worked over. Dundas and Jace Johnson collide at the point. Jace gets it back. Looking to wrap around for center. Schultz and Gilgren were too far to the zone. Now they'll center it up for Gilgren.
Price doesn't have a goal paddle.
No paddle wide. He's laying at the right post. He's got to get it to his teammate, Gilgren. Another centering try, and nobody was there for it. Kielb will wrap this one again. Jace,
the Lakers
up the near side.
The Lakers are desperately trying to get the goal paddle back to their netminder. Finally, they get it out of the zone, and Price is able to pick it up himself.
Carried by Phillips all alone. Pressured by 2 Chippewas. Basita to touch up with Hamilton, and we got a whistle, a slash coming up to a GV player.
So slashing the call on Phillips.
And this would put CMU to their first power play of the night. For the slash on Josh Phillips. With 15:34 to go in the second period, Devin Sarah Reagan Cleese, if you're just joining us, we had a very extended delay in the first period after the Zamboni did not have enough water, laid down a dry scrape set, in Sam Zailson's crease for about 5 minutes, laid a puddle. And the ice is less than favorable, but these teams continue to carry on. And the most recent goal by Andrew Siraki gave this Chippewa team something after they were down 5-0 in the first 20 minutes. Caleb Woolery was pulled after 4. And this is where we sit. So power play coming up. Nathan Bottles to dig in with it. He wins it over. Campbell will skirt it back to Christopher Martin. Tries to evade pressure. Campbell now will think about it, and he'll take a shot. That one might have run off the blocker and then the post.
Yeah, he had some daylight top left corner, but Price was able to get a shoulder on it.
Across the way, one-timer for Porzonic, and he got blocked in front. Up into the air, cleared the lane, and chasing with it is Lamb. Savelson way out of his net to give it to Porzonic. Stretched it up the wing, missed it for Schultz, and it's sent back the other way.
This GVSU penalty kill, one thing that they do very well is block shots, and we saw that after that initial face-off draw. They were able to block the shot and get it out, and Central Michigan hasn't been able to establish any zone time since.
Campbell touches up, looks for Schultz. Pinned up the boards. Gorno looking to dig this one out. Bottles will fork it all the way up to Martin again. Martin, a couple of stick handles to Porzonic across the way, and it's off the stick blade of Bottles and up into the air. And this first power play group had a goal last night, but it was out of 8 chances, Reagan. They've struggled to score. It's been their story, their MO all year. And, Porzonic and Bottles have seen a lot of puck possession, but they haven't been scoring it well like they were last year.
Yeah, and it's been a storyline all season. Those two players, Bottles and Porzonic, the two leading scorers last season for Central Michigan, have Porzonic only has 8 points this season, and for Nathan Bottles, he only's got 5. So two players who really have dropped off a cliff in terms of point performance for Central Michigan, and they trying to get back onto it.
Here's a youngster, and Jace Johnson to the net, looking for his first, and Price smothered it under his wickets. The youngster out of Riverview Cabrini High School put up 81 points in just 24 games, 44 goals. I mean, he's a ticking time bomb to start putting it in the back cage.
Yeah, the leading scorer from the Michigan High School Athletic Association last season, trying to get on the board for his first ACHA point. Can't do so. Price stood tall and made a good save.
Robertson made a good play at the line to keep it alive. Gilgren with a soft backhander into the glove of Price, and that wasn't the look he was getting. Do you think the ice had any impact on that?
I mean, I think, the ice certainly didn't have, or had the impact on that, as Gilgren couldn't settle it down, and he couldn't really get a good shot off. The puck was rolling as he released it.
Another face-off win. That's 3 straight for the Chippewas. Another story coming in was they lacked the production in the dots. There's a shot. That one turned wide of the right post. Morgan was looking for his second in 3 games. And the youngster out of St. Mary's, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, will stop on a dime. 10 seconds left. One last rush they'll have time for. Robertson over the timeline. Good poke check by Steve Myers to negate that. CMU 0 for 1 on the night.
And I think what causes that turnover, Devin, is that Robertson's trying to look for the opportunity and create it himself. He's not looking for his teammates. He's just cutting through neutral ice with his head down, not looking for a pass, and it leads to a fairly easy turnover for GV.
Yeah, this GV team is too good to kind of allow those easy turnovers to. Evident by the score. Bishop rims it in. Scene collected up the wall. Matko misplayed the puck. Vasilovich gave him a check. Bex centers into the zone. Chippewas body him up. Keel tripped up under himself. Deep in, they tie to the left wing.
Penalty coming up.
And, yep, it's going to be an elbowing call. And in the corner, Armentrout got taken down on the play. So that's going to put CMU.
I think it might be Armentrout going to the box, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I thought from our vantage point, kind of an older spot. You may notice we are in the long-time bleacher vantage point that we were accustomed to for many years. We switched up top, but due to some equipment concerns and unavailability, we were forced to switch back because that one's up into the rafters and
actually hit a light
one of the lighting fixtures. Yeah, that one will flutter around. So not used to this spot, so forgive us for any missed angles or awkwardness. Doing the best we can with what we got to finish out the semester. Game 17. 6-8-2-1, a CME's record coming in. Brendan Martin and company are looking for anything to turn this season around that has not gone the way they've hoped as of late, with losses to number 2 Florida Gulf Coast, swept 6-1, 10-1, and last night lost 6-1 again to Grand Valley State. Only 4 goals in the last 4 games.
This GV power play, Devin, 1 for 3 on the night. 1 for 2, pardon me, on the night coming in.
Noah Fouché corrals the blue line. 3 players carry. Mulder looks to take a sharp angle, and it's way up into the rafters.
Took a deflection off it, in front of Zavelson.
Fresh changes coming up, and we mentioned the last game of the semester, CMU in the middle of this top 10 opponent frenzy. They will take on Oakland University on January 19th, so a long time we'll have a break, Reagan, to see what this team can adjust. This game's not over yet. It's 5-1, but still fighting hard. And, you know, you have to respect how hard this team has fought still. Being down what they are, Zabelson didn't fight it the first time, and the rebound chance squirts through. Down to his pads, the rebound kicked in front, and I believe that's going to be scored by Myers. We'll wait for the official call. 6-1 GVSU. It's going to be their second power play goal of the night. And leading the line is Steve Myers.
And that shot kicked off of Sam Zavelson. He made the initial save, but it laid in front of his pad. He thought he had padded it away into the corner. Instead, it laid out in front of him, and it was redirected into the corner. Or he thought he had redirected into the corner, rather. It laid in front of him, and GVSU was able to jam it home.
Yeah, nobody was there. No Chippewas in front to clear the lane. It's something they've struggled with a bit the last couple of contests. And so, they're actually going to give that to Jack. Okay, I stand corrected. They are brothers. Chevalier with the assist, and no time to waste. Petersmark with a wrister at the top of the right circle is seen in the chest protector.
And that's the second power play goal Central Michigan has given up in this game. GV 2 for 3 on the man advantage. It's tough when your penalty kill struggles, Devin. Central Michigan can't get anything going, and as we've mentioned the last couple of games, Central Michigan winless when they've allowed a power play goal from their opponent.
Yeah, what's that record now? 0-7-1?
0-7-1-1.
Yeah, just not going to cut it, and they've been better as of late. Look out, touched up by Lewis.
High sticked. So the face-off will come all the way back to the Central Michigan, or pardon me, it'll come just outside the CMU blue line.
But it is a mark of how many penalties they have taken. They are one of the leaders in the ACHA, top 10 overall in D3. And, you know, we said we gave them credit yesterday for only allowing 10 penalty minutes, or taking 10 penalty minutes. And, you know, it's just a tough make of, you know, you take penalties, that one's backhanded on the near side, on the far side, and skirted wide, but you can't win hockey games taking those shorthanded chances. Back in from a sharp angle, loose in front, and that was on the back door. Fouché trying to finish, and he just missed it.
Fouché put it right across the face of goal. He had a wide open net, but he couldn't put it between the pipes.
And the lead pass from Robertson to Schultz misses. I mean, they don't let the foot off the gas. I mean, they look like, even if they miss the initial shot, they've always got a second or third winger trailing, ready to strike.
Yeah, and that's what makes this team so good, Devin, is the fact that Grand Valley can cycle that puck, and they've got such a good system that there aren't a ton of flaws in it, and it shows on how many chances they get.
Gilgren won the faceoff, got it back to Clements. He'll button hook with it. Out before meeting up with 2 Lakers. Deep scrum in the far corner. Flipped into the air. Skated by Phillips. Schultz in hot pursuit. Good intercept. Looking for room to center it in front for Gilgren. And on the back pressure was Phillips picking up his own mistake.
Yeah, it's great pursuit there by Phillips. Able to stick with the play and break up the pass.
Look out, Braden Nielsen. He's got 3 goals in this weekend series. Drops it off to Lamb. Tried to center it in front. Looking for Walk. And that one barely skidded over his blade. 10:22 left in the second period. Devin Sarah, Reagan Cleves rinkside. Grand Valley State leads this hockey game 6-1. And a shot from the point by Clements is easily saved. Goals tonight coming from Braden Nielsen with 2, Jacob Lewis with 2 to his name, Chris Dundas and Jack Myers each have a power play goal. And right now, Braden Nielsen's sitting at a 3-point night. Chippewa's only answer was from Andrew Siraki on a great feed from the inboards by Owen Campbell 5 minutes ago. And on a dirty ice sheet, this is a dirty game per se. That one tied up at the half wall, sent the length of the ice. Arm in the air for Zavelson. Mixing up my D2, former D2 guys here. D2 team played here earlier. I think the final was
19-1.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Not too much to say there. But, amidst the scores, good crowds on hand for both teams. You love to see the fan support for these Chippewa teams. And that one, I think, rang off the iron and into the upper mantle.
Tell you what, that's actually a really good save by Price, fresh off the face-off. He's able to get his right shoulder on that and deflect it up and out of play off the great chance by Nathan Bottles off the face-off.
Yeah, he's a tall kid. Ryan Price, 5'10", 161, out of Livonia, Michigan. Undefeated this year, 3-0, as was this 13-0, number 1 team in the nation. Jace Johnson, look to center one, sticked away. Looks to retrieve it. Great pursuit by the young freshman in his 4th start as a Chippewa. Nathan Bottles gets it to Morgan up the near side, and for just a moment it looked like Ryan Price didn't see it and found it under his pads.
He was actually able to corral it underneath his pads there, Devin. He made the initial save, didn't know where it was. Much like Zavelson on that last Laker goal. This time Price is actually the one that's able to find it.
Keel gets first to it. Helped out with Messina. Pressure to the boards by 2 Lakers. It'll skirt wide to the blue line. Over the timeline with numbers comes Jace Johnson. He'll skate wide. Backhand it for a moment. Looks to feed it to Bottles as they tie up for their own puck in a pressure situation. Messina. Touch it back. Central just looking to maintain possession of it. Now they'll turn it over as Mulder decked Keel to the boards.
Yeah, Keel was already losing his balance, but Mulder made sure he went to the ice. This game's getting a little bit more physical as we go on, Devin.
Keel still under duress. Gets to his feet. They'll free it up to the point where Bex keeps it in. Works it to Mulder. Pressured by Bottles. Now a shot from Bex turns easily wide. Connor Morgan looks to stretch it to Jace Johnson. Intercepted. They'll get it to the zone anyway. CMU will make wholesale changes. And Dundas gains the red line and dumps it in, and his team will do the same.
Yeah, that's the period of the long changes. 11:40 gone in the second period. Both teams have a goal. It's 6-1 rather.
Nice move by Steve Myers. Backhands it into the slot for Chevalier. Push to the boards. Gets it back to Myers. Now he'll look to center it up. Deflected off the skate of Christopher Martin. Vasilovich is worked over. Backhanded by Steve Myers in front. And he had that puck knocked away.
Yeah, Myers was looking for Johnson on the back door. His backhand feed, though, was just too far in front.
Chevalier up to Gorno, and he missed it.
Yeah, that shot was through traffic. I think Zavelson got a little piece of it, and this shot's blocked up and out of play by Porzondik.
And so much fast pace. I mean, look at how long that scrum was happening in the corner. It looked like Keel was trying to lay on that puck for the longest time so he could get help in numbers. And, even though that's a microcosm of this game, even with all that hot pressure, GV is still able to work on a cycle and produce some shots.
Yeah, indeed, and that just shows you how good this Grand Valley State team is, that even in the face of adversity, even in the face of some physicality from the Central Michigan team, they're still able to play their system. They're just that good.
Thought for a moment that Johnson played it with a high stick. They say it's fair. Worked a lateral lead to Lamb. Vasilovich backhands across for Brandon Clements. Long saucer in the air. Deflected down by Gorno. Takes a hip check from Nadu. Siraki turned it over. Gorno moves onto the net. Too strong. Tried to get it up to his teammate Christian Walk. That line's been busy as of late. And now Owen Campbell tries to pressure his man. He'll work with Siraki. Those two combined for the only CMU goal earlier in this period. Campbell will continue to pressure Walk. It skirts free to the top of the left corner. And Robertson tied up with Nielsen as he attempted a shot.
Yeah, Robertson was trying to pounce on that loose puck to let a shot go. It was blocked and goes up and out of play as some words are exchanged between a couple of players before they head off. We've seen a couple of scrums break out in this game, but overall it's been fairly clean, Devin. Both teams, much unlike last night, staying out of the penalty box.
Yeah, and the most recent penalty was Chris Armentrout 7 minutes ago for elbowing. And that put GV 1 for 3 on the power play tonight. 6:39 to go in the second period. Devin Sarah Reagan-Cleese with you. From our own vantage point in the freezing tundra, that is Martin Ice Arena. And a long shot from the left wing scores. Wicked wrister. That was, I believe, Owen Petersmark. And he went top cheese on that one to score for GV, 7-1.
And that's just a good shot by Petersmark. Left wing circle beats Zavelson cleanly over the glove. It's just too fast for Zavelson to get his glove to it in time. 13:32, the time of the goal. GV up 7-1.
Petersmark out of East Lansing, Michigan, the junior with his 6th goal of the year. Had 16 last year, led the way. One of the top 5 scorers as they entered the playoffs. I remember distinctly him getting a goal in the MCHC semifinal against Michigan at a very clutch time to force overtime. And for Petersmark, his 6th of the year puts his team up back to a 6-goal lead. Trying to work back again for another one, and they do. Nifty passing gets home to Jacob Lewis. And GVSU wastes no time, 2 goals in 30 seconds.
And if it's Lewis, he's got the hat trick. Well, it looks like
who's leading the line there?
And it looks like Foucher's going to lead the line. And that play, we talked about it coming into this period, Devin, the choppy ice, that causes that turnover at the blue line for CMU. If the ice is a little bit smoother, that puck doesn't hop over the stick of the Chippewa defenseman, and GVSU doesn't have that goal going right on in.
So Foucher out of Rochester, Michigan. His 10th goal of the year. Had a goal and an assist last night. And now with 2 points in this game, he assisted on the 3rd Grand Valley goal by Jacob Lewis.
It's his 3rd point of the night.
Yep. Lewis, 3 goals. Had an assist in the game last night as well. So a big weekend for Jacob Lewis and a host of others. CMU down big in the second period. Here's Kyle Bowerson. He'll skirt it up the far wall for Connor Morgan. He gets worked over. Tended a centering feed, intercepted by Jace Johnson, the youngster. Drop pass for Bottles. Sends one on net, and Price will smother that. Looked like he didn't get enough mustard on that. Score still says 7-1 GV, Reagan. I thought it was 8-1 last I checked.
It is 8-1.
So
Jace Johnson drawing some stares from the GV players as he tried to go for a rebound that wasn't there. Ended up slashing the pad of Price fairly hard. And that drew the ire of the Laker players.
5:10 to go. Face off to the left wing circle inside GV's end. Here's Vasiljevic. Good win. Porzonik worked it to Martin. They'll cycle on the near wall. Intended to work it into the trapezoid, but it was taken away by Carson Becks. With speed the other way. Here's Jack Myers looking for his second from a sharp angle. I think that missed wide. Off the sharp angle. Again, kind of at the far side of the rink here. A little hard to see from that angle. Porzondik and Vasiljevic tag up. Pressure coming, though. A great hustle play by Jacob Jansen right there to get back. The rimmer on the boards. Carson Becks takes it. Leaves for Vasiljevic. Mulder takes it back. And Vasiljevic gets tripped up. Fans want to call, and they're not going to get one. And a big collision
and now
up the near side by Robertson. Yeah, he took down Chevalier. Are they going to get him for that? Oh, no, it's Vasiljevic.
They've given a misconduct penalty to Vasiljevic.
Our on-ice mics, we don't have them tonight, so we might not have heard or seen something.
And I think it was after Vasiljevic got tripped up in the corner to our left here, Devin. He was giving it to the referee, and I think that's what drew the penalty.
Wouldn't this leave it 5-on-5, though?
It is 5-on-5, and it should be 5-on-5, I believe. I believe the
Getting
scoring
confirmation
crew,
of that right now.
Scoring crew, I think,
Yep.
in the box put it up there.
4:23 to go.
Easily.
8-1, GV leads the most recent 2 goals in less than 30 seconds from Owen Petersmark and Noah Fouché. And a lot of start and stop in this period, Reagan. You know, after the long delay, you know, it can't be stated without saying that we're kind of dragging along here. No pun intended.
Yeah, I mean it's been a tough game for Central Michigan, and it's been a tough 2 series for them. They've now allowed 29 goals in the last 4 games.
Wraparound shot. Spin around shot, rather, taken by Jansen. And, you know, the hardest thing, I think, for a team to accept is when you've consistently had the results you don't want. You look for changes. You look to switch up lines. You look to switch up combinations. And Brendan Martin has tried his best to do that. And for one reason or another, Reagan, this team's firepower has just gone away, up in smoke.
I mean, that's what happened.
Oh, my gosh. Sorry. A shot from the point. Took a funky bounce. High stick played.
Yeah.
And it nearly beat Zavelson.
If it did go in the net, it would have been waved off because it was played with that high stick. But more to your point, Devin, it's tough when you lose your seniors like Central Michigan did last year. They lost Charlie Hayes, who's now behind the bench as an assistant coach, but you also lost multiple other contributors. And when you lose that many players, you lose that chemistry that you had last season.
Yeah, some notable departures from this team include Kyle Chapman, Charlie Hayes, and even their young goaltender, Elijah Jones. Look out, puck is loose on the far side, and it's sticked away by Zavelson.
I mean,
kept in at the point, and now into the bench and out.
And along with those players, you also lost your captain in Keelan Baker, who had been with this club for so long, and it's tough when you lose your leadership like that, and sometimes you take a while to recover.
No doubt. And I mean, this team didn't get off to the worst start this year. They won games against Ferris State, opening weekend sweep, and
they started 3-1 in their first 2 series.
Right, as that one's smothered by Zavelson there. I mean, looking at their schedule this year, if I can get it. I mean, look, they took on Notre Dame, got a split with them 2-1. You took down a former top 5 opponent there. You thought this team was, in a good spot, and they were. But they took losses to Michigan State, swept 5-1 and 1-0. And then a 9-2 loss by Lawrence Tech following a tie with them. Seemed like the trend they were heading downward. And followed up with a loss to Saginaw Valley, 4-1 on home ice, and then a thrilling overtime that had a loss, not go in their favor. They've lost in 2 overtimes this year to Michigan Flint and Saginaw.
And I really think that the loss, it stings to lose to Florida Gulf Coast and Grand Valley by 5+ goals. But I think the loss that really stings the most for this Chippewa team is that Michigan Flint loss in overtime. You had won 9 consecutive games against your opponents from Burton, Michigan. And in the end, it doesn't end up going your way, and that kind of takes the wind out of your sails.
Steve Myers somehow gets this puck center for Chevalier, but it was too strong. Worked over 2 Chippewas, and a misplay at the line by Phillips forces him to retreat with 2:35 left to go in the second period. GV leads this one 8-1.
And even with how tough this last 4-game stretch has been for Central Michigan, it's really good to see Jace Johnson, Connor Morgan, the younger guys on this team continue to put forth the effort, like you just saw there. Connor Morgan on the forecheck, causing some havoc for that GV defense. And it's those type of things that you want to see out of a team, even when you are struggling. It's those young guys stepping up.
Following the conclusion of the intermission, or the second period, I'll have the intermission report with you on the other side, presented by SimmichIceHockey.com. See if CMU can get one here. As Chase Johnson from a really sharp angle gets pushed to the boards by Nielsen. Flipped into the air, played down by Morgan. 1-on-1 up against Walk. It'll be dumped back by Martin. Played by Hamilton behind his own net with pressure coming from Morgan. One of those young guys that you just touched on. Like you said, not for a lack of effort by any means. Grand Valley State is the #1 team in the nation. They're a tough competition for any team at this moment. Buzzing at 13-0. Here's an intercept. Mulder winds up, and he turned it wide to the left post. 1:15 left in the second. Here's a shot from the point. Look, Roos in front, and Bowerson sprawled out to the ice, and Zavelson had to make 2 savvy saves.
And he did make 2 saves there. Laid down the left pad, kept it flat on the ice to make those 2 saves.
Porzonda gets worked over all alone. Matko leads it up for Scamara. Shot by Matko. Rebound loose, and Zavelson came out to collect it, and he will.
You know, Zavelson's been fairly good in this hockey game, Devin. He came in at the 11:29 mark of that first period in relief for Caleb Woolery. And I really think that Zavelson has only allowed 4 goals, but he's made some good saves when he's had to. The goals that have beat him have been either really good shots by GVSU or just some wonky plays, like the one where he lost the puck even though it was in his pads. He didn't know where it was.
Armin Trout will dump it deep, get his team some more changes as he works down low. Jake Bishop now will corral this up to Robertson. Takes a shot out of the net, and Price is able to find it the entire way.
You know, Central Michigan has had some good looks in this series, Devin, but when they've had open lanes, what they've done is they've shot it right into the gut of either Bobby Masters last night or Ryan Price tonight. CMU has gotten some good looks, but when they've gotten those looks, all they've done is put it right into the netminder and allow for a fairly easy stoppage of play.
Race for the puck is touched by Lewis. Whacked at. Good pursuit coming back was Robertson. 22 seconds left. Johnson moves it laterally for Gormo. He'll dump it. Near wall. Tied up for a moment. Janidu come in to help. Clements will just look to kill some time. 7 seconds left. Pressed up against the boards. One last centering feed shot coming from Johnson. No, he won't. And that will do it. So after CMU answered midway through the period from Siraki and Campbell, they will allow 3 unanswered by Myers, Petersmark, and Fouché to continue their stranglehold. It's 8-1 as we head to the second intermission report. I will have that for you on the other side to recap this and get you some out of town. Stay with us. You're watching CMU and GV on CCHN. We're back with you for the second intermission report presented by CMHIceHockey.com. It's frozen in here, so I have my coat on, but hey, Merry Christmas to all of those who celebrate this holiday season. The final game of the first semester is not going according to plan. It is 8-1 Grand Valley State. The Lakers, the number one team in the nation, undefeated, 13-0, came to play. And at the start of the second period, it looked like CMU had a lot more mustard in their step. They were able to answer with Andrew Siraki scoring his first goal of the year, assisted by Owen Campbell on the return feed from the trapezoid. It was a great job by Siraki to get down low and get home past Ryan Price to test him for the first time tonight. Grand Valley State, I know, leads in shots. I don't have the official marks for you. But the Lakers just answered right back and got back to work. It was Jack Myers scoring 2 minutes later on a power play after a roughing call was taken by Chris Armentrout. The Lakers would capitalize. They have 2 power play goals in this game. They're 2 for 4, same mark they were last night. And then 3 minutes later, they had 2 goals in less than 30 seconds from Owen Petersmark and then Noah Fouché to make it 7-1 and 8-1. And CMU looks like they had good play for the first 10 minutes. They were matching the energy that the Lakers were putting up, but since then, it's all GV. And now CMU is in damage control, down big in this one, 7-goal differential. And that's where we sit after 2 periods of play. Get you some out-of-town scoreboards updated. Calvin University was taking on Arizona State tonight. Calvin wins that 6-3, and the Sun Devils are coming off a 4-0 loss against Calvin's arch nemesis, Hope College. So the MCHC slate not going well for ASU, but good for Calvin to get a win there. Meanwhile, Indiana, Pennsylvania taking on Westchester, 8-2 the final. IUP, the Redhawks doing a good job staying alive in play for that. The Men's Division III rankings, we haven't really touched on them too much in this broadcast, but this is where they sit. Grand Valley State is at number 1 in the country, followed by Florida Gulf Coast at 2. Michigan State at 3. Lawrence Tech, MCHC East rival, at 4. Michigan at number 5, also out of the East. Air Force at 6. Hope College at 7. Missouri at 8. Saginaw Valley at 9. And Oakland at 10. And the big thing to note out of this top 10, you look at the level of ACHA teams in here, you can count 7 out of the top 10 are from the Mitten State. With the likes of Saginaw and Oakland bringing up the rear, those teams are just as formidable. This is going to be a dogfight the rest of this year. All these teams that finish up their first semester slate, Saginaw Valley was going to be in action against Arkansas this week, who's currently ranked 12th. Unfortunately, the Razorbacks ran into some travel issues. They ended up not being able to get out to Saginaw Bay Ice Arena for their Teddy Bear toss. Unfortunate for them. Hopefully they get to do that at some point soon in the season. The rest of the top 25 looks like this. Missouri State at 11, Arkansas 12, Calvin University at 13, another MCHC team, Purdue at 14, Colorado School of Mines at 15, Dordt College at 16, Notre Dame at 17, Creighton at 18, Dartmouth at 19, Kansas at 20th, Miami, Ohio at 21st, Maryville 22nd, Sacred Heart 23rd, St. Vincent 24, and rounding out the top 25 is the Christian Mary Community College, the Mustangs. CMU came in this weekend at number 26 in the nation. After these tonight, what we presume would be, unless a miraculous comeback were to happen, a loss again. They would lose for the 4th straight time by a 5-goal differential, which counts as basically a double win in the ACHA standings. So CMU trying to avoid that tonight, and we'll see if they can muster together any kind of answer, as it's all GV at the end of 2 periods. We'll be right back with more CMU hockey to wrap this one up from Martin Ice Arena and the first semester. You're watching CMU and GV on CCHN. Inside Martin Ice Arena, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all those who celebrate. It is currently Grand Valley a lot, CMU a little. As we begin the third period, Devin Serra alongside my tag team partner Reagan Cleaves. Reagan, not the period CMU wanted, but you got some silver lining here in the third. You got 20 minutes left to play before your semester ends. What do you want to say out of the Chippewas?
Well, I think for Central Michigan, I think you got to go off into this Christmas break with some sort of high point, whether that's playing a good period. And you and I were talking earlier, it's like back when the Wings, like 3 or 4 years ago when the Wings were struggling, you talk about winning periods. You talk about the small things that go right because, yeah, things aren't going right for you on the big scale. But so I think Central Michigan right now, they got to win this period. They got to get at least a goal, hold GV off the board, and go into the semester with something to think about, something that goes right before we start the second semester.
CMU's trying to avoid their fourth straight loss by 5 goals or more on the year. And from left to right, we are underway. CMU in their maroon and white unis, the Lakers in the blue and white. And we'll start the breakout again, not before Robertson decides to sail this one deep in. It's played up at the near wall as Bishop will drill it across for Robertson. He'll try and circle one, rims it around. Clements in to chase after it. Porzonic centering feed for Armentrout, just barely skidded over the blade. And the ice is much cleaner after we had that long delay in the first intermission for the Zamboni breaking down.
And I like that idea that Central Michigan had in the offensive end there. Armentrout couldn't get a stick on it because Hamilton tied him up, but Central Michigan getting pucks to the front of the net here to start this third period, but this won't help them. It goes for icing.
This line will have to stay on. Nathan Bottles is getting ready to change. And I guess he will now. Trying to go incognito mode there. And, you know, Reagan, in the break, I had the chance to update our folks of the top 25 standings, which look like this. Grand Valley State at number 1, Florida Gulf Coast at 2, Michigan State at number 3. You know, you and I have talked so much about them being the surprise of the year and a team that wasn't very good for many years in this conference. 7 of the top 10 teams are on the MCHC. They continue to have a big stranglehold on this league, not without Price real quick, getting a shot from Jace Johnson looking for his first.
Yeah, and that Michigan State team started their year off with a sweep of Central Michigan, which at that time was fairly big. Look out.
Jacob Lewis intercepted and he scores the hat trick for Lewis. As he finishes that off, some nifty moves. He intercepted the slot area, and it's 9-1 GV.
Yeah, and that's a tough play for the Chippewas. Lewis does a great job of picking up that pass in the slot. He's got time and space. Just an errant pass by CMU ends up in the back of their net.
So it's 9-1. Lewis with the hat trick. Looks like he will be unassisted on that one with 18:37 still to go in the game. Unofficially, his 4th point of the night. And, yeah, to continue your point, Michigan State, 7 of the top 10 in the MCHC. They've had a stranglehold winning the last, 10 national championships besides Sioux College?
I mean, I think at that point, I think Sioux College was in the MCHC, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, the MCHC has been the premier conference in the ACHA for quite some time, and we've seen that. And CMU has been part of that winning tradition the last couple of seasons. But this year it's been a little bit different. We made it to 4 straight national tournaments.
You know, you and I have recency bias, but that Florida Gulf Coast team, they're at 2. They've been a top 10 team for as long as I can remember. You know, the story going into last week was they have never missed a national title tournament. So, what do you make of that team? Could they be one of the first to, knock off one of these MCHC teams?
Well, I think for them, they consistently get into the national tournament, but once they get there, they struggle, and they haven't made out of pool play the last couple of seasons, and I think part of that's due to they're not used to playing away from home at Hertz Arena. They have such a home ice advantage. They get big crowds to come out and support them, and they're used to playing at one particular ice service. But when you move away from that, as they do every year at the national tournament, it's a little bit different, and it's hard to adjust. And we've seen that from Florida Gulf Coast not being able to emerge from pool play.
Yeah, and some other notable teams outside of the MCHC I think of is the likes of Missouri, who had some big weekend wins. They had a sweep over number 12 Arkansas. It elected them to move to number 11, and then they went and took down their crosstown rivals, Missouri State. That team had a 15-game win streak going into nationals as Zavelson smothers it, but they bowed out twice to Hope College and Air Force, having a tough pool with CMU. So, anything can happen, but you get the tournament time, and these MCHC Michigan teams just turn it on.
Yeah, and I think consistently you see these MCHC teams ranked in the top 10 because they do so well at the national tournament. And Michigan hockey, especially in the D3 level, has been so dominant. Like, yes, you have the teams like Florida Gulf Coast, and Notre Dame, other outside Michigan teams that make it in, but they consistently struggle when it comes to crunch time.
Well, in this crunch time, one of the best teams in the nation, the best in GV, 13-0. Last year I thought they were one of the better teams in the country. They were top 5 going into the Natties, but I didn't think they were to this level. They're going to be 14-0 soon. Evading a massive comeback by CMU, who's trying to make that happen, but it's Price who collects it on a shot attempt from Martin. They've got a great head coaching squad by Dylan Knox and this team that have constantly got them deep in the MCHC tournament, bowed out in the semis. The year before they won the Vezina Cup. Do you see this team as one of those favorites? How can you not?
I think they certainly are one of those favorites. And last year, the last 2 years, they've run into Michigan. Michigan has beat them in the last 3 semifinals they've appeared in. They beat them in the 2022 national tournament, the 23 national tournament, and they beat them in the 23 semis of the MCHC tournament. So this is a team whose emesis is the Maize and Blue, and for the last couple of seasons, they haven't been able to get past them. I think in order to win the national tournament this year, they're going to have to go through 2 teams. They're going to have to go through Michigan, and they're going to have to go through Hope. And Hope, both those teams have won the last 3 national tournaments.
Yeah, and speaking of Hope College, we'll get to them in a moment, as this one's played by Kyle Robertson out of the own trapezoid. Clements out of neutral zone will now smother it on net at the half wall. Jace Johnson with hot pursuit in, helped out by Connor Morgan. This line of Jace Johnson, Nathan Bottles, and Morgan debuted yesterday, and they've been able to provide some chances as this one flutters into the bench. Hope College right now is ranked at number 5 in the nation behind Michigan. This team's been number 1 for as long as we can remember, but they've had losses to their crosstown rival, Calvin, in that fierce rivalry.
That's a massive rivalry on the west side. And
they lost to Michigan State by 5 goals. They lost to Oakland. So Hope, we haven't seen those games in person, but it looks like the MCHC's caught up to them, and they don't have as much of that, for lack of a better word, stranglehold that they did for years.
And I think last year with Michigan winning that national final as convincingly as they did over the Dutchmen, I think that kind of pulled the rug out from under Hope and pulled the veil from over everybody else's eyes. It was, hey, this team can be beaten, and this is how you do it. You now have film on how Michigan did it, and the thing is,
there's a shot from the point. It's scored by Braden Keelb. What a job. As we were talking about Hope,
his first career goal.
First ever in the ACHA. We joked with him a couple of weeks ago when we were going to see you get some production. How about that? The sophomore out of Livonia, Michigan, with a blast from the point, gets his first as a Chippewa.
Yeah, his first in 2 seasons. That's a good shot from the left point through traffic. Price can't see it, and it's over into the top of the net. So Braden Keelb, 5 minutes into this third period, gives the Chippewas something good to talk about, and that's what we were saying, Devin. This Central Michigan team, you get Braden Keelb, his first career goal as a Chippewa, his first career collegiate goal for that matter. And it's something good. Maybe you can build on that going forward in this third.
Yeah, only had 2 assists all of last season through 21 games played. And this one, a great point. It beat the goalie cleanly. Top cheddar. Great job by him. And so momentum now. Here comes Owen Campo down the left wing. Well, backhand this one, and Siraki teed it up and missed the net. Now he'll backhand into the back door, and Jay Nadu skated 2 deep to the zone. Christopher Martin with another try, and that one's off the blocker of Price. 2 or 3 good chances now coming from the Chippewas with 14:15 to go in this hockey game. So turning heel is Carson Becks on the dump by Siraki to change. Owen Campbell turns the puck over. He'll work on a shot, and Price, it's loose in the slot and cleared the lane. That was first time touched by Justin Chevalier.
There's been a couple of good offensive zone possessions for CMU. Look out at 2-on-1.
Chevalier moves in with speed to the net. Zavelson gloves it, and he was all alone on the senior netminder.
I will say the benefit of being down on ice level, Devin, is the fact that you can see the shooting lanes that these players see, especially from the side of the ice that we're on. And Chevalier had that space on the right side, on the far side of the net. But Zavelson, with those quick reactions, was able to cut down that angle and reach out the glove and make the save on what was a dangerous chance for Chevalier.
The sophomore had an assist last night, points in every game he's played this year, and he's yet to register a point that we know of in this game. So he's at jeopardy of losing that point streak.
He has the assist on the Jack Myers goal.
Oh, thanks, Reagan. I was wrong.
Well, I mean,
I was wrong. I was wrong. Thank you.
It's also hard to keep track of assists.
No,
man.
look.
Especially when you're doing play-by-play.
Man, it's a 9-2 game, my guy. I should have assumed he's had one in there.
I don't blame you, man.
No, yeah, but thank you. So he'll continue that 14-game point streak. As the face-off comes to CMU's end in the right circle. I think that's where the dots are. I could be wrong about that too. There's another shot from the point, is saved by Zavelson. We're grinning up here in the booth. It's Christmas. We're looking for positive things.
Oh,
right circle.
my goodness.
Into the slot area. Nifty moves by Peters Mark.
That was Fouché trying to get a shot on goal. Dipsy-doodled through the defense.
Gorno on the cycle. Have a pass on the money there. Good breakup by Robertson. They keep possession, however. Gorno cycles it up top, trying to go across for Peters Mark, and it was too strong for him, and it's lifted up and out.
That was a great chance for GVSU. Robertson was able to use his stick, put it firmly on the ice, and be able to knock it away from the face of goal.
Porzondik up against Gorno, the assistant captain. Lewis gets taken down to the ice by Clements up the wall. Lamb hones in. Chippewas can't get out of their own zone. Here's Fouché. The power play goal tonight. Lamb on the ice. Penalty coming up here. Or no, it's our high stick.
I think it is going to be a penalty. It's going to be on Andrew Porzondik.
Well, I miscorrected myself for a moment because I thought that was a non-interference call, but you're right. Porzondik to the box. GVSU 2 for 4 on the night. Is that correct? Here's the statistician here. See, fans, supporters, let's get one thing clear. I am not the professional statistician. I am not the best at keeping this, but Reagan Cleves right here is the man. This guy makes packets. He makes notes, vigorously keeps a stat sheet that is always accurate. And thanks to Reagan, he makes sure that every stat we provide you with is clear and precise.
2 for 3 on the power play tonight for GV.
Thank you. So they get their 4th opportunity of the night. Yeah, look, you corrected me again. That's pretty good. I don't blame you. We got to be right on it. 1:40 to go in it. 12 minutes in the hockey game. Up to the point. Steve Myers at the left wing. Winds up. Blocked off the shin of Spencer Messina. He's going to feel that one in the morning. Connor Beamish now. Looks to drill in Jack Myers. He gets it back. Winds up off the glove of Zavelson.
And Zavelson was screened by his defenseman Messina in front. He was able to make that save nonetheless.
Saucer pass across the way. Myers pushed to the boards by Messina. Works it down low into the air, and it's up and out of play. Messina's arguing his call to the referee because he was frustrated by Steve Myers checking him to the boards. 11:31 to play. 112 on GVSU's 4th power play of the night. They'll get wholesale changes. Off will go Kielb and Messina. And good for Braden Kielb. We'll have something to give him his love for, give him his flowers. 1 goal, his first as a Chippewa, first of his ACHA career. Out of Livonia. Fouché to touch it up. Hot pursuit is Bottles. Drilled in by Morgan. Great turnover chance. Lifted it over the net. Bottles again from a sharp angle. That one missed wide. It rolls around the near boards. Mulder chases in. Fouché, backhand. Up to the point. Lewis with a hat trick tonight. Continues the cycle. 35 seconds left in their fourth power play. Fouché, pressured by Bottles. Looking for the open ice. Flipped into the air. Off the glove of Martin. Up but not out. Kept in at the point by Fouché. Mulder. Button hooks. Pressured. Look at the hustle by Connor Morgan, but a penalty is coming up.
Well, it's going to be offside.
It is offside,
It's
sorry.
going to be offside on GVSU, and because they were yelling off, and it was intentionally touched, the draw is going to go back into the GVSU end with 11 seconds to go in the Porzonic eye-sticking minor.
I don't know why I thought that might have been a penalty. I think Morgan, I thought for a moment, took down his man. That's why I was a little jumpy with it. I'm too jumpy for this being a 7-goal differential.
It's all right, buddy.
Hey, it's all good. Jay Nadeau. You know what's awkward, though, is being back in this old spot. I mean, we were here for 2.5 seasons, and quite honestly, I never liked it. I loved your idea to go up top, and we've been having a lot of fun using our on-ice mics to provide you as well as ourselves with sound. We're a little limited on equipment tonight. It's the end of the semester. A one-time blast by Robertson is blocked. Look out, 2-on-1 develops. Here come the Lakers on a dime. Backhand and wide across the net. They'll go 2 for 4 on the power play, but still under the attack.
And Lamb was right out in front. He couldn't put it home, and he couldn't get a good handle on it.
Owen Campbell retrieves. Forwards to Siraki. Button hooks. Sharp angle shot. Saved by Price. GV reverses Fields. Great hustle by Siraki. The sophomore trying to pin it up the boards. Nadeau to hem him in. Works up the wall for Lamb. He'll flip it up into the air, and it will go down to the trapezoid and iced. Lots of start and stop. 9:37 to go in this hockey game.
We're halfway through this third period. It's time to start looking ahead to Christmas break, Devin. Central Michigan has a long break. They don't play until about a month from now, January 19th and 20th, where they'll play a home-and-home against Oakland, who this year has been a very good hockey team. They're one of the 3 teams that's beaten the Hope Dutchmen.
They're a very veteran, experienced team. I think of last year when they beat this Chippewa team at their own place, Buffalo Wild Wings Center in Troy, Michigan. And they had 4 lines they wrote out that looked so fast, so physical. Oakland is going to be a national contender. I think they're one of the teams that gets slept on a little bit more at that top 10 spot.
Penalty coming up here. A hold, I believe, on Brendan Clements.
So he'll go to the box. 5th power play opportunity of the night.
Yeah, he got tied up behind the net with the Laker. Didn't see who it was, but he's pleading his case to the linesman as he goes to the box. His pleas fall on deaf ears, so the linesman can't do anything about it, even if he does agree with you.
But, yeah, looking ahead, they'll take on Oakland. After that, it'll be a series with Illinois State, ISU.
And, Devin, talk about a tough stretch, man. You play the number 2 team first weekend of January in Florida Gulf Coast. Play the number 1 team the second week of December against GVSU. And then to start the second semester, you play the number 10 team in Oakland. It's a tough stretch for CMU, especially with how good the...
That's offside by Jansen.
Especially with how good those teams have been this season.
Yeah, it is a tough stretch, and they're in the middle of that 3-series stretch. And, they're looking for revenge. They were able to beat Oakland last year that was, at the time, a top 16 team. Remember, top 16 is the one number that goes to nationals, and they'll be split into 4 pools. But remember how crucial that game was to getting CMU in the Natty tournament. I don't know how likely that is with what will be, presuming, a couple of more, 3 more goals by this Chippewa team.
Well,
a 5-goal loss in 4 straight.
Yeah, and that's the tough part. So the way the computer will look at it, and I know you and I have been talking about this basically since the tail end of last year when it mattered so much to these Chippewas, and if they were going to get into the tournament, it was really those 5-goal losses count as double. So really the computer's going to look and see, CMU has 8 losses in a row. No, not really. I mean, they have 4, but the severity of those losses and by how much, it's tough to come back from 4 straight 5+ goal losses.
Yeah, we just talked about 7 of the top 10 big MCHC teams. The rest is made up of the likes of Missouri, Missouri State, Arkansas, Florida Gulf Coast. You take your pick.
Yeah.
There's teams that are just in better spots than them. Calvin, too. It's not likely at this point, but you still have a lot to play for. You have an MCHC tournament. You know, this team is in a rut right now. No way other to put it.
Even with the MCHU tournament, if you win, it's not necessarily a direct auto bid. You have to be in the top 25 in order to get that auto bid to the national tournament.
Right. And the MCHC tournament, the last 2 rounds are after the final ranking period. So if you win those games, they really don't matter
You're
so
just
much
playing
to
for
it.
pride at that point. You're playing for the Vezina Cup, which is the
best conference trophy in men's Division III.
I mean, if you look at the rest of the rankings, you talk about the MCHC being at the top of the ACHA Division III. If we look further down the MACHA, where the likes of Arkansas and Missouri State and Missouri, for that matter, as well as CMU's opponent later on this season, their only other out-of-conference game that they'll play is Illinois State. They're also in the matcha, and those are it's the second best conference in the ACHA. And Devin, out of the last 3 national tournament games or national final games, it's been the MCHC plus 1 appearance from Arkansas, the sole representative of the MACHA.
So while we're talking about rankings and periods of what's going to happen and who's going to get in, there's still a game going on. 6:17 to go in this one. GV leads 9-2. Fouché back to the attack with his host of company. Jansen from the point. It's redirected, and they score. Nope, they're going to say Petersmark hit it with a high stick.
Yeah.
They'll give him love for it.
Pretty obvious.
Yep.
The referee waves it off immediately. It was a pretty good tip by Petersmark, but played well above head height, well above the crossbar.
So right now on the MCHU standings, the bubble teams are this. At 14, Purdue. 15, Colorado School of Mines. 16 is Dordt. Meanwhile, on the outside looking in is Notre Dame at 17. Creighton at 18, who made the national top 16 last year, but could not afford, for better lack of terms. Yeah, could not go.
That's why CMU got in.
Ran into some financial issues, yeah, and they could not go. So CMU got in as that 17 team. Dartmouth at 19, Kansas at 20, Miami, Ohio at 21, and Maryville at 22, followed by Sacred Heart, St. Vincent, and CMCC.
And how about Kansas, Devin, having a little bit of a resurgent year? They were bottom of the barrel last 2 seasons, and that has come a little bit off its moorings behind Zavelson. They haven't blown the play dead, though.
Well, no, he fixed it, though. He pulled it back in. Zavelson, he's a heads-up guy. He's real. He makes a save there. He's got a real good IQ, real good smarts for not just being a goalie, but you know what's happening in the game around it. He's one of our sources of information for this team, and talking to him, I'm so glad he came to this squad because he is true and true one of the best teammates, one of the best people. And Sam Zavelson, he's one of the best goalies. He doesn't show it through what tonight's been, but he came in relief of Caleb Woolery after it was 5-0.
Well, and I really think that because the CMU D3 team has had so much success over the last 10 seasons that they've played. I mean, half the time you've gotten into the national tournament, you've been to the semifinals once. Like, it's hard to lose, and it's hard when you're caught in this rut. And I think what Sam Zavelson and the other D2 leaders, including Spencer Messina, Connor Beamish, have brought to this team is okay, we still have to keep our heads up, because if you look at the way they're playing, it's the former D2 guys that are putting in the effort, that are that haven't given up, because they know what this feels like, and they know that this isn't the end. You got to keep playing.
There is still a whole semester left to go, and Brendan Clements, one of those younger guys on this team that we talked about earlier, that's put in the hustle, put in the work. And I think of the likes of the future of this team, like Connor Morgan, Andrew Siraki, Jace Johnson. They have a lot of hope, a lot of good skill. They all have their roles on this team. This is tough. You know, these are tough pills to swallow, but I think all of it at the end of the day makes you better as a person, as a teammate. It's not the result you want, but there's still 3:45 to go in this hockey game. 9-2 is the score. Nathan Bottles looks to make some work of it. He'll skate hustle into the zone. He'll circle around the net, plays it up off the glass, leaves it there for Jace Johnson. He'll tag behind himself. Drop pass. Off the half wall, sharp angle shot, saved by Price. Cycles back up to the point for Braden Keel, the only second goal scorer for the Chippewas tonight. Played as an offside, can't touch it up for Jace, and they'll have to retreat. 3:15 now to go. Nathan Bottles again pursues GV's fourth line, or the top line, because here comes Andrew Mulder. Helped out with Brian Metco out of DeWitt, Michigan. And that one, weird bounce, skirted wide of the right post. Phillips from the point. Off the end boards, behind the net, it's played. Messina dresses Matko. Phillips thinks about it, takes one on Keel, but that's off his hip. They'll crunch to the boards. Bottles himself will take a check from Mulder. 4 players tie up with it. Keel loses his stick. He'll get it back now. Down low, into the slot area. It's loose. Mulder winds up, and Messina 1 and 2 good blocks. The assistant captain will gain the timeline. Connor Morgan across. Miscommunication with Jace Johnson.
His pass was intended for Jace, but it was too far behind him. Jace couldn't get it even on his backhand.
Falling to the ice, pressured by Matko. These two lines have been out here for a long time. Over 2 minutes now. Messina thinks about it, working it to Johnson. He gets worked over. Lakers will come the other way with numbers, and they will gain the red line and chip it out. Both teams will change. 1:45 to go in this game. And Grand Valley State, the number 1 team in the nation, will remain that, undefeated at 14-0 on the year at the conclusion of this one.
And for them, they've got a tough opponent coming up next weekend in Saginaw Valley State. But even before that, tomorrow, they turn around and play I believe it's an 11 o'clock game against Arizona State.
Yeah, ASU right now is on a Michigan tour. They played Hope College last night, lost 4-0. They lost 6-3 to Calvin today.
5 p.m. the start time on that one. But still a quick turnaround for this Laker squad and for ASU, as a matter of fact. So
yeah. And among other things, Michigan in contest with Ferris State tonight. Ferris State played Michigan close. They only lost 6-4 last night to the reigning national champions.
Yeah, and it's been such a weird season in the MCHC, Devin. It's been a lot closer. I mean, you saw Michigan Flint only lose to Oakland by 1 last night. They finish up that series in Burton tonight.
From Crystal Fieldhouse. U of M Flint and Oakland. 1 minute to go in this hockey game. Steve Myers is the one working through traffic. Gets to the point for Gorno. Thinks about shooting. He will. Easy paddle saved by Zavelson. Is kicked to the far corner. Christopher Martin gets worked over now. To the point. Will Psycho down low. Dundas gets it to Chevalier. Cross to Myers with 35 to play. Good defense by Martin. Tries to rim it around the boards. Gorno stops on a dime, across to Chevalier, in the near corner. It's loose, and taken over by Schultz, who will look to dump it out off the knee of Gorno. He'll fall to the ice as clock winds down. So Grand Valley State flexes their muscles. They won 6-1 last night at their own barn, and they come into Martin Ice Arena to hand the Chippewas their 4th straight loss by 5 goals or more. Final shot of the game is saved by Zavelson, and that will do it.
That stung Bowerson as he blocked that shot up into the midsection. Hope he's okay. He's a bit stung. This one comes to an end.
So the Lakers will walk away with this one. The story is the hat trick by Jacob Lewis in this one. Multiple goals also by Braden Nielsen. 3 goals on the weekend, multiple points. Fouché helped him out, and a host of others. We'll have more from you with the postgame show coming up next here on CCHN. The final score, Grand Valley State 9, Central Michigan 2. Welcome back inside Martin Ice Arena for the final time of this first semester. And before the holiday break, the final score, Grand Valley State 9, Central Michigan 2. The Lakers come in here and completely stomp all over CMU on their turf. They hand on their 4th straight loss with 5 goals or more. Early on, Caleb Woolery got pulled after allowing 4. I think it was 5, one of those, and 4. Yeah, and then Sam Zavelson came in, played well for the most part. CMU got themselves 2 goals tonight. They've had 1 goal each in the last 3 games, so a little improvement there, and that's all you can look for in a team that basically didn't play up to snuff with the top team in the nation.
Well, given how the last 3 games had gone coming into this one, you were pretty sure that it wasn't going to be close, but you do have some bright spots to take out of this, Devin. Andrew Siraki scores his first of the season. Braden Kielb, the defenseman, scores his first goal as a Chippewa in 2 seasons. He hasn't had a ton of production. Congratulations to him on his first goal. But some bright spots to take out for Central Michigan. And, hey, you didn't take as many penalties in this game, in this series, as you had the last couple of series. And, yeah, it's a tough way to end the first semester on a 4-game skid. But in the end, you have a month to reset. You come back in a month or 2, or in a month, take on the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, the number 10 team right now in the nation. You got a chance to reset and can open the semester with a bit of an upset.
Yeah, the special teams look like this. CMU finished 3 for 5 on the penalty kill. They end up without a power play goal in this game on 4 chances. And so for them...
They only had 1 chance on the power play.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Really? I read that as 4 Cs.
Well, here you got 4 Cs, but here is where you get the power play, and you got the G. That's 5 power plays for GV, and then 1.
You've been correcting me all night, which you needed to. I mean, I butchered the stats a while ago in this one, just the way it was going.
Yeah,
but
it's a tough one.
Look, the point is, CMU had a little chance, and GV had a lot. We had everything in this game, though. I mean, we saw a first intermission delay for the Zamboni breaking down. We're back in our old spot here. It's freezing cold. I'm shivering, and I'm ready to go by the warm fire and eat some cookies and drink some milk. But, you
you got the entire Christmas break to do that, man.
Yeah. And thanks for wearing the gingerbread tie tonight. That was much needed.
You said you wanted it.
I did want it. I did.
Figured I'd wear it.
I did. So
appease you for once.
Yeah. Among all the holidays. Like we mentioned, goals tonight from Jacob Lewis, Braden Nielsen, Chris Dundas, Jack Myers, Owen Petersmark, and Noah Fouché for GVSU, and Braden Kielb with his first goal as a Chippewa and his ACHA career, Andrew Siraki in his first goal in 10 games. Looking at some other out-of-town scoreboards, we reminded you that Calvin University beat Arizona State 6-3 tonight. Michigan is in action against Ferris State. I don't have a score update for that, but be sure to check Twitter for ACHA Men's Division 3 for all things there. And also, an update, Saginaw Valley was going to play Arkansas tonight, but unfortunately the Razorbacks had some travel issues. Couldn't make it out to Saginaw Bay Ice Arena.
It was actually the other way around.
Was it really?
Yeah, Saginaw couldn't make it out to Arkansas.
I'm not on it today, folks. I'm really not on it. He's right. They couldn't make it out. You know why I said that? Because they had a teddy bear toss game.
Yeah.
I think they already did, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
I
don't know. You got me stumped on that one.
I was messing with him there. I'm messing with you, buddy. I was seeing how much you really knew.
All I know is that the game was canceled because SVSU couldn't make it out.
Anyway, getting back to this game, on our recap, your impact players, Caleb Woolery and Kyle Robertson. Woolery was pulled early, as we mentioned. Kyle Robertson didn't register a point. On GVSU's side, Steve Myers got an assist, and Noah Fouché going to assist.
Yeah, and I really think I want to focus a little bit on Caleb Woolery here. The freshman netminder, he's had a tough stretch of games. He's appeared in the last 4, been pulled, or has 3 losses in that span. It's tough for a young netminder, and I really think what's been the confusing part of this first semester is the fact that he's gotten the majority of the starts later on. Sam Zavelson, his record doesn't exactly show it, but he, I think, has played the better netminding out of the 2 of those top 2 netminders for CMU. But time and time again, it's been Woolery, especially as of late. And you got to wonder what's going on inside Brennan Martin's head.
Yeah, we thought coming into the year that after that win against Notre Dame, he put the Irish only to 1 goal to CMU's 2. And then he followed that up with starting against Michigan State, right? And they had a 5-1 loss followed by a 1-0 loss. And we thought he was going to be the primordial main starter. But since then, we saw them cycle between Zavelson and Woolery, and then Lauren Jones had some time in there. So this goaltending situation has, like you said, been very interesting from that point of view. I do believe maybe, in some remarks, maybe Zavelson should get more of the time. He did tonight. He allowed 4 goals in this hockey game, 5. But a lot of those were on power plays, or they were later on in garbage time, if you would.
Yeah,
but all things considered, he played well.
Yeah, I think Zavelson did play well. He played the majority of this hockey game, and his goals against average is going to spike up a little bit with those 5 goals in just about 50 minutes of play. But I think he made a couple of good saves, and the goals that he did allow were either backdoor passes, some great shots from some great Laker players, or just some weird bounces that didn't go his way. And I really think out of the gate in the second semester, if you want to give this team some stability coming off this 4-game stand, I think you go and elect to go with Sam Zavelson off the bat against a top-ranked Grizzlies team, because frankly, Woolery's had his chance. And I know I don't want to sound so harsh, because he's played well in the past. He's in the middle of a little bit of a funk, and you gotta save the kid's mentality. He's only a freshman. He's got 3 more years left.
Yeah, no, well said on all of that. And it'll be an interesting story to follow up on and talk about as we go into that second semester. Before we get to that preview of Oakland, let's talk about our 3 stars of the game, presented by CMHIceHockey.com. The 3rd star goes to Braden Kield for his first goal in the ACHA. Through 2 years, he's had 6 assists total, over 20-plus games played, and he gets his first of the Chippewa. Braden Nielsen gets the 2nd star with 2 goals tonight and an assist registered. And the first star tonight is Jacob Lewis with a hat trick in this hockey game. He did it pretty impressively, and he was all over the ice creating turnovers. He was really good one-on-one with the goalies. This is a really deep roster, but it's led by those 2.
Yeah, and he scored his first 2 goals of the hat trick within the first 10 minutes of this hockey game. He scored his first at 3:33 and then followed it up about 4 minutes later at 3:31 with his second of the night, both from Fouché. So that top line for GVSU is very dangerous, and it should serve them well going down the stretch. Again, this is a team that has some very tough opponents late in their season. They have Hope and Michigan State. They're 2 of the last 3 weekends of their season. For Grand Valley, I think their eyes are set on those games. The 2 other top 10 teams in the nation, they want to face them, and they want to beat Hope, because everybody wants to beat Hope. And the last couple of seasons, in order to win a national championship, which is what GV wants to do, you got to beat Hope, and they got to do that this year.
Yeah, that's the golden key to winning a national championship. We'll see what the rest of the Grand Valley season looks like. Now looking ahead for this Chippewa team, out of the break, they will have a month and a half to rest and get ready for number 10 Oakland, the Grizzlies, on January 19th from Troy Sports Center and the Buffalo Wild Wings Ice Arena. They'll take on, and CMU last year got the split in this series. It's what catapulted them to getting in the national tournament. They're in a skid. How do you see them coming out of break and finding something in their game to compete?
Well, I think it starts with finding some stability, whether it's finding your line mates that click in practice over the week or over the break. I think it's part of it is getting that rest and relaxation that this first semester for everybody has been so been played at such a high tempo. I think Central Michigan will take this time, relax. You've played the 2 best teams in the nation ostensibly, at least with the rankings. So you got to take this time to relax, and you got to come out hard. You played an extremely good second period against Grand Valley. That's in yesterday. That's a bright spot you can take and move forward. You've gotten some players their first goals of either the season or of their career. So you got to be able to take that momentum, and you got to realize the challenge that's going to be Oakland.
So we'll have to wait and see what the result is in the future. But for now, we'll have Christmas, we'll have New Year's, and we hope you all have a happy time in that. Before we get out of here, we'd like to thank our great production crew that helped us with everything getting set up tonight. The likes of Hayden Scott running the camera, Sam Tabashinsky. Thanks again, buddy. With the great production work. Fabulous job, by the way, running production. And, of course, Ryan Donnelly with the PA, making his PA debut for CMU, so great job on the sticks there. As always, our social media team is led by Joe Lazier, the likes of Kaylee and Rachel and Lane Cool make up that group. They do a wonderful job. Make sure to go give them a like on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you find social media, at CMU Hockey D3. And for that crew, that's going to just about wrap up our coverage here from Martin Ice Arena and our semester, which has been a roller coaster to say the least. But the final tonight is 9-2. Grand Valley State continues undefeated, 14-0 on the year. CMU falls to 6-9, 2-1. And as we mentioned, we'll look forward to second semester when they take on the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Thank you all for watching this presentation of CCHN. For Reagan Cleves, my partner, my name is Devin Sarah. Have a happy and safe holidays, and we'll see you in 2024. Have a great night, everybody.